Hey, I'm right back with another video. It's December 6th, 8:41 a.m. and I just ran to the store really quick. I was going to go across town, but then, I always do that. But, I decided to maybe do that later or whatever. Who knows? But anyway, I was thinking last night before I drifted off to sleep about an issue that happened, I would say maybe about 5 years ago. That I see, this irrational, illogical, racist viewpoint from, a lot of people when it comes to African Americans and our hair. And I was thinking about an issue that happened to a lady. Her name is Rhonda Lee. For those of you who do not remember this story, Rhonda Lee was a meteorologist at KTBS Channel 3 News, and it was an ABC affiliate in Shreveport, Louisiana, after responding to a racially charged remark about her naturally short hair. Rhonda Lee is one of those black women who prefer to wear her hair in a natural state, which I think that's a person's choice, okay? I've tried to do that myself. I didn't like the way it looked. It looked very strange on me. For some women, they can get away with it, and for that, good for them, okay? But anyway, this particular viewer sent in a message and said something along the lines of, well, I'm going to try to repeat it as best as I can. This person wrote a comment, and it said he was referring to Lee as the black lady that does the news, and suggested that she wear a wig or grow some more hair. And so what Rhonda Lee did was she responded on Facebook on a thread and said, "I'm sorry you don't like my ethnic hair, and no, I don't have cancer. I'm a very proud African American. I'm very proud of my African American ancestry, which includes my hair. For your edification, traditionally our hair doesn't grow downward, it grows upward," which is true, okay? So one of the reasons why my hair sticks out and I wear these headbands is because when my hair starts to grow out, it grows outward. It doesn't grow down like, other people's hair. It's naturally curly. So therefore, we have to maintain our hair the way that's best for us. So what I was thinking is that when I'm relating to this comment, now, here's the issue when it comes to our hair. Now, this person was basically suggesting that she wear a wig, okay? So, in my case, when I do wear wigs, then you get responses from people that are negative and that don't make sense. And if you wear your hair in a natural state, then you're going to get some sort of natural comment. And so where this becomes irrational and illogical is the fact that white people, I'm not saying all white people, but the white people who got involved in my targeting basically have this, what I call, a deep hatred for black people. Because obviously, whether you wear your hair natural or you wear a wig, or you go through the process of straightening it, or whatever, however you do your hair, it is always an issue among them. So, this, like I said, this story is pretty old, okay? And yes, Rhonda Lee was terminated for responding. Apparently, she was notified that there was some sort of policy that she was not supposed to directly respond to the viewers, but to refer this issue over to the staff members. I guess a staff person that was designated to, respond to complaints or inquiries or whatever. Okay, so whether or not that's true or not, that's not the issue, but the point is that somebody made a comment. Now, he was very apologetic about it, and he did contact the station and said that he felt remorse about what he said, because obviously it was kind of a thoughtless thing that he did, not understanding really her situation and why she did what she did with her hair or whatever. But my point is that the issue is that whether you're wearing your hair in braids, you're wearing your hair natural, you're doing your hair in whatever style, it always seems to cause some sort of issue with people, and you can't please them. You cannot please them. So the only thing you can do is please yourself. You can't run around through life worrying about who's happy with your hair. Period. You know what I mean? And so, I find this old story kind of eye-opening, because when you think about the situation of African American women and the position that we get put into, there was a comment where this lady, I guess they said, sisters can't win. I would say you're right, you can't win, because either way, these people are going to have a problem with it. Throughout the years, I've had my hair in many styles. I've worn braids, which I loved. I love braids. I love them a lot. But, I remember people kind of thinking it was a political statement. The issue is that it's not a political statement. We are doing what we have to do, what's best for us relating to our hair, okay? Our hair is not the same as our white coworkers or white counterparts or whatever you want to call them. It's not the same, okay? So, I've had, this is about the same time, I would say 2012, I was at the farmer's place, and I had a vendor come in. I believe he was a Terminator. What do you call those people? Exterminator. He I guess did the spraying for pests or whatever. And he came in, and he made a really inappropriate comment. At that time, I had my hair cut really short, and I regretted it, because I will say that when my hair is short, it is just like she said, it goes outward instead of downward. So, I was trying to work with different, products to keep my hair maintained, But in that particular trailer that I was working in, the humidity was really, really bad. So my hair was getting really frizzy, and it looked kind of kind of funky, actually. Some people would have thought, okay, that's kind of cool, but, it didn't look appropriate for work. And I will say that it didn't, okay? But still, he came in and he made a comment, and I felt as though, it was intrusive on his part, because, number one, men don't have the right to dictate what women are supposed to look like, okay? He asked me, what did my husband think of my hair? And I guess he was disappointed, because he was used to seeing me, with longer hairstyles or whatever, more feminine type hairstyles. He did make a comment that it kind of looked kind of boyish, I guess. And so the thing is that we shouldn't have to feel a sense of responsibility to please other people. Okay, this man's not my husband. He's not my boyfriend. He's not any male relation to me, or in any position to say or comment his expression on anything that relates to me, period. You know what I mean? But I handled it, I think, the best way I possibly could. I simply gave him his check and wished him a nice day. Okay? But in reality, he really should have been told off, because my hair is my business. It is not for everybody. It's for me. It is for what I do that is convenient for me. And so you deal with a lot of irrational, illogical racism, and that's exactly what it is. It is irrational and it is illogical, because either way they're going to have a problem with it. If you wear your hair in Afrocentric style, whether that be natural Afro, you wear it in braids, because braids are one of the easiest ways to maintain our hair without having to put heat onto it, and it's basically a wash and go easy setup, okay? Sure, I would say the process of getting braids is a very long process. It could take anywhere from 8 hours, okay, to get your hair completely braided, depending on how thick your hair is, okay? But once you get them in, it's a wash and go. You do whatever you want. You can go swimming. You can do whatever. You don't have to worry about your hair. Okay? But whatever the case is, it's always looked upon as a political issue. It is not a political issue. It's not an uprising. It's not anything like that. It's basically some people choose to do their hair in the most convenient way for them. Okay? Now, I'm not one of those people that can get away with the natural style. My hair is very tightly coiled. I would say if you look at the picture of Rhonda Lee, I haven't looked at my natural hair in a very long time, because I do chemically relax it. Okay? But my hair is, I would say, probably as tightly, kinkily coiled as Rhonda Lee's hair is. In its natural state. And you can't win. You can't win with these people. You cannot win with them. And what these people have done is they put me in a situation where I'm constantly being, spotlighted for issues that I can't control. I can't help that, and neither can Rhonda Lee. Rhonda Lee is one of those women, nice-looking woman, who decides to or chooses to wear her hair in a natural state. And, for those women, I do applaud them because, it's not, I've seen some really great afros. As a matter of fact, I've pinned some of them on Pinterest for the women who have really big afros. And, of course, if you're thin enough, very tall and thin enough, like, for example, some people can get away with certain things. Like, those tall boots that go past your knee. I see a lot of, like, girls who are, like, my size, who are short, and they're not what you call bone thin, but they wear those boots anyway, and they look like they're being swallowed up, okay? But for, like, really tall, thin, rail thin girls, I think they look great. Now, when it comes to afros, I think if a lot of women look good with them, if they're tall and they're really thin, they look great with afros, in my opinion, okay? I personally don't think that I would look good in an afro. I don't look good in them. But, so then I have to choose what's best for me, and I've chosen, in the past, I would grab whatever would fit the circumference of my head, basically. Is what I would choose, okay? And I didn't know much about hairstyles and textures and trying to figure out what was really right for me because I was completely oblivious to it. I was very frustrated with having to find something that was workable for me. And, I feel as though the hairpiece that I do have is workable for me because it's easier for me to just go ahead and curl the top portion and the top and the side portions of my hair, and then that way, it blends in the best texture to blend in it with. So this works for me. Was it justifiable for them to manipulate my employment over this issue? No, it wasn't. It wasn't. It was wrong, and obviously I'm a victim of racism. And I do find it extremely offensive. But the reason why I brought up this particular point is because, here this particular lady is wearing her hair in a natural state, and then she's dealing with issues. Hair, in this case, I've dealt with it before. Like when I've cut my hair short, worn it, and it's close to natural state, and then it got frizzy, and it didn't basically look close to my natural state, whatever, or just wearing out my natural hair in general. You get feedback from it, and it's inappropriate, and it does show that there is an illogical, irrational, racist view when it comes to it, because either way, like this lady said, you can't win. So anyway, I'm going to wrap up this video, and later on this afternoon, when I feel up to it, I will continue my job search. I will say that I'm extremely tired of this whole issue. Obviously, what I've experienced was inappropriate. I think maybe my family, didn't like the fact that I was changing my hair because they were arranging my jobs. I had no idea they were arranging my jobs. Okay, and then also my sister, Lisa, she went to beauty school, and she knows how to deal with hair more than I do. And I would say of all my sisters, my hair is probably the curliest. And so, they're expressing their opinion, and then you got these white people who don't understand stuff, and then it becomes a big issue. But initially, what I do with my hair is my choice. It's my business, and it's extremely intrusive, rude, and racist to sit here and point out, these differences that we have, So either way, in this world, you can't win. So I'm going to wrap this video up, and I will be back with another one later. Have a great day.